Flipping quotation.
Reading time begins. Reading time ends. Time begins. Thirty seconds used. One minute used. One minute, 30 seconds used.
Tabula rasa, a perspective offered by John Locke. He thinks that children have a blank slate, which means they're impacted by everything around their environment. But this has been proven to not be true, because babies are born with their own personalities. Some come more quiet, some come louder, and some have their own little nits and tricks that they are born with, which negates this theory. This leads us to today's quotation. Scientists can no longer take for granted that their results speak for themselves. And we can interpret this to mean not everything needs a scientific background, but we can condense this to mean things just are what they are. And we can see this through my two key points of we are meant to question reality, and reality is consistently changing. Now, tabula rasa, the things that lay outside of this scientific bound, leaves us to question science itself. And we can see this through two key points of the egg theory and spontaneous human combustion. First, our egg theory. Imagine you woke up in a new world that you could not fathom, and something godlike reached out to you and said, you yourself are a god, but you are just living life over and over and over, being reincarnated as different people, and everybody that has lived is you. Now that would take you aback and say, that's not possible. But this theory proves that we are meant to question reality. I mean, that's how this thing came about. That's how theories in itself come about. And we can see this further contextualized through my second point of spontaneous human combustion. First, see, you're watching TV, watching Great Anatomy, having the best time of your life. All of a sudden, poof, you're gone. Spontaneous human combustion. You just light into flames with no real explanation and no scientific way to say that you just randomly burst into flames. And there has been recordings of this, normally to people that are older, but this does exist. So yes, you can just sit here watching this video. Gone. Tabula rasa by John Locke. This can show us that our concept of reality continues to change. And we can see this further contextualized through my next two key points, my next two key examples of miracles from heaven and the Bermuda Triangle. First, Miracles from Heaven. Miracles from Heaven is a movie based off of a true story of this girl who had an uncurable intestine disease. And people were wondering what were they going to do, but they stayed true in what they believed. But during on a time where she was outside playing in the yard, she climbed up a tree and fell in this tree. But miraculously, her incurable disease was miraculously cured. And this led others to think, what is reality? Is this laying outside of the bounds? Which shows us reality can change. Our concepts of reality can change. A miracle will prove it. And my second point, the Bermuda Triangle. This is a triangle in the middle of the ocean where 50 planes and 20 ships went completely missing without a trace or an explanation. This scientifically shows that you can't just see and think about the scientific reasoning of why things went missing. It simply just happened. Now, we can't fathom this because our reality, if it's stuck in one place, we can't think about the inevitable or anything that our brain can't wrap around. But because we can grasp the concept of this isn't normal or it lays outside of the bounds, shows that our reality continues to change as we ourselves as humans evolve. And we can understand the concept that everything around us isn't going to be the same. So this proves reality does change. Coming back to today's quotation, scientists can no longer take for granted that their results speak for themselves, by MIT physics and professors. And you can see this further contextualized through my two key points of we are meant to question reality and reality is consistently changing. And we saw this through my 4 points of the egg theory, spontaneous human combustion, poof, miracles from heaven, and the Bermuda Triangle. Tabula rasa in itself shows the scientific conjecture or the scientific cause of things as we see them, and what lays outside of those bounds, which is how our reality on itself changes, and also how we are supposed to question it. Because how would children have memories of past lives? So, all in all today, I agree with today's quotation.